All right, let's talk about a material that is literally all around us, but you probably don't even give it a second thought. I mean, this stuff is a true hidden hero. It connects the deepest parts of our oceans to the farthest reaches of space. Seriously, without it, our modern world would just stop. So let's dive in. Okay, let's kick things off with a little puzzle. What do you think connects the Hubble telescope, a tough as nails BMX bike, and a professional tattoo machine? I know, they seem totally random, right? But believe it or not, they all share one secret ingredient. And the answer is a hidden hero of modern engineering, aluminum 6061. Now, this isn't just any old chunk of metal. We're talking about one of the most versatile, most widely used aluminum alloys on the entire planet. It's the go-to choice for engineers everywhere when they absolutely need top-notch performance and rock-solid reliability. So, what's the secret sauce here? What gives 6061 its superpowers? You know, like any amazing recipe, it really all comes down to the ingredients.
So if you look at the breakdown, you'll see that 6061 is, yeah, mostly aluminum. But that's not where the magic is. The real secret is in those tiny little slivers of other elements. We're talking less than a few percent, but those little bits of magnesium and silicon, they're what turn a pretty basic metal into a legit high-performance alloy. Let's actually break down that recipe. Think of magnesium as the brawn. It's the primary strengthening element. Then you've got silicon. Silicon is what allows the alloy to be heat-treated, which unlocks even more strength. It's kind of like baking a cake, right? The heat transforms everything and makes it way better. And then you have these little pinches of copper and chromium, which are there to fine-tune the whole thing, boosting hardness and making sure it welds together nicely.
All right, so we've got the recipe, but what does that mean in the real world? Let's translate that list of ingredients into the actual superpowers that make engineers choose this stuff. First and foremost, it is incredibly light. I mean, just to put this into perspective, steel is nearly 3 times heavier. That is a massive, massive difference. And that's a huge deal whether you're building, a fighter jet or just a bike that you've got to lug up a few flights of stairs. But don't let that lightness fool you, because light does not mean weak, not even close. 6061 has a tensile strength of 290 megapascals. Okay, that's a fancy engineering term, but what it really means is that this stuff can handle a huge amount of pulling force before it even thinks about breaking. It's seriously strong enough for some of the toughest jobs you can imagine. And this comparison really gets to the heart of why alloys are so important. On its own, pure aluminum is, well, it's pretty soft. It's not great for structural stuff. But once you add those key ingredients from our recipe, you get 6061, and it's a night and day difference. It's way stronger, it's great to weld, and you can heat treat it for peak performance. We're literally talking about engineering at the molecular level. Okay, but let's be real. No material is perfect for every single job. As awesome as 6061 is, it's important to be balanced and look at where it really shines and where you might want to pick something else. So the advantages are pretty clear, right? You get that killer strength-to-weight ratio, it resists corrosion like a champ, and it's a dream for manufacturers to machine and weld. Plus, it's widely available and doesn't break the bank. Now for the disadvantages. It's not the strongest aluminum alloy out there. For really extreme applications, something like a 7075 might be a better bet. And it's not the best choice for parts that need to be super wear resistant, things that are constantly rubbing against each other. All right, this is where it gets really, really cool. Let's go on a little tour and see the incredible range of places where this single material pops up. And we're going to start at the very top, literally. Aerospace. When you're trying to escape Earth's gravity, every single gram counts. That's exactly why 6061 was used for things like the Space Shuttle's fuselage and even the antenna beam on the Hubble telescope. I mean, it doesn't get much more high stakes or high performance than that. Okay, let's come back down to Earth. This stuff is all over our transportation systems. Car companies love it for things like chassis and body struts. Why? Because it makes vehicles lighter, which means you get better fuel economy, all without sacrificing an ounce of safety or strength. And what about the water? Well, its amazing resistance to corrosion makes it an absolute no-brainer for marine applications. You'll find it in boat structures, offshore drilling platforms, basically anywhere it has to survive the constant, brutal punishment of salt water. And you know what? It's probably a lot closer to home than you think. Hey, remember that BMX bike from our little puzzle at the start? Well, there you go.
Aluminum 6061 is the backbone of tons of high-performance bike frames. That perfect combo of being super light and super strong is exactly what gives riders that competitive edge. So when you add all of this up, from space to cars to boats to bikes, it's really no surprise that 6061 has earned its title as the workhorse alloy. It's become a trusted, reliable standard for industries all across the globe. And what's really fascinating is just how global this alloy is. An engineer in the USA calls it 6061. An engineer in Germany might call it ALMG1SICU, but they're talking about the exact same thing. It's totally standardized. That means a designer in California can spec out a part, and a factory in China knows exactly what they need to make. It's a universal language for builders. When you get right down to it, aluminum 6061 is the perfect example of a material that's been brilliantly engineered to just quietly make our world work better. It really is a hero hiding in plain sight. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other invisible materials are out there, the unsung heroes that are shaping the world all around us right now?